What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a special edition of the Husky Fat Podcast. It is in prime time, and we are coming to you live from Facebook and our YouTube channel. Tonight, we're going to talk to both sides of the main event for the charity that we have coming up. But until then, I'm your host, Dylan. To my left, y'all know him, we love him, the sexiest man alive, Mr. Scott, motherfucker Jones.
Dylan, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm good. It feels nice being here at night.
It does, man. It brings a whole different vibe, and we're going to bring a whole different vibe to this podcast because we've got the main event of our charity event that we've been asked to put fights on for the Come Up Foundation on November 21st. We've got the main event. These are the two guys. We have our current small gloves heavyweight champion, and we have the contender. We've got Davis Rossio Jr. here as well, who will be fighting Myron Dennis in an actual rematch. And we got them both here to talk to each other and kind of talk this thing out. Just to kind of let you guys know, this show that we have coming up here on November 21st, it is for the Come Up Foundation. So that means 100% of the proceeds go directly to the foundation. 100% of those proceeds go directly to help kids, man. The Come Up organization, it goes into areas throughout the city. They offer free martial arts training, tutoring, mentorship, anti-bullying curriculum to kids for free. They don't charge. It's stuff, like we've talked about before. You go to an MMA gym, it's $150 just to walk in the door. They're teaching these kids. They're not even teaching these kids about martial arts. They're teaching them about life, and it's something that you guys need to support. And so that being said, without further ado, why don't we bring in the champ and we bring in the guy wanting to steal his belt?
Absolutely. First, he is the challenger from Youngstown, Ohio. They call him the Pitbull, Davis Rossio Jr. And he is the reigning, defending heavyweight small gloves champion from Oklahoma City. Please welcome Myron Light Skin Dynamite Dennis.
What's up, fellas? We're going to get into this. First off, I want to thank you guys. I know you guys are busy. You work day jobs, you train full-time, you have kids, you have families, so it means a lot for you to take the time to come on and speak with us for a few minutes here this evening. So we're going to get into it. The first thing, just to start off, since this is a charity event, and I know Myron knows a little bit about the Come Up Foundation since him being here from Oklahoma City area. I knows a little bit about what they do. The question I have for both of you, and Myron, you can start this. You can go first. If you had an organization back when you were a kid or back when you were in school that would have offered you free martial arts training, not only free training, but provided you the ability to get to that training, provided you to the gear, you had access to a program like that growing up, how do you think that would have changed your life, changed your childhood, even changed your career further on down the road?
Honestly, just starting back in 2008, there wasn't as much opportunity, especially there wasn't a lot of gyms around in the Middale area. So we only had a couple and we had to kind of try to figure it out. But if it was a system that was put in place, like you said, that was providing the transportation, providing the mentorship, as well as the high level training, I could have been at a high level even at a earlier stage in my career, because now with the Come Up Foundation, you got kids that are preteens, teens, and they're training like professionals already.
Yes, sir. Same question to you, Davis. If you'd have been given an opportunity growing up to be able to train martial arts, they have programs as an elective in some schools here, they have after-school programs and everything else. How would that have changed your childhood growing up, or would have that affected you in a positive way?
Yeah, I definitely think starting earlier in life would be a big opportunity to be more comfortable in the environment of fighting. Definitely give young kids things to do instead of, just being hoodlums and doing things they don't really need to do when you're a kid. And I wish I would have started a little younger. I started at 17 years old. I honestly never trained martial arts ever until I just jumped into it. And then as soon as I jumped into it, I had my first MMA fight just to try it out. and got my ass kicked, and then learn from there and keep going.
Sure. Yes, sir. Well, all right, guys. Well, we're going to get right to it. Dylan, Dylan, you want to kick us off here? Who we got first? Who are we talking to first here?
All right, so obviously this question is going to go kind of to both of you. I'm going to start with the challenger. Coming from your first fight, or what did you learn from your first match that you're taking into your the second rematch?
First thing I will say I learned, I said this previously, is by far the best person I fought in MMA or kickboxing. I learned the difference between like just being good and your fight IQ. He's very smart. He's able to think and change things in between. And honestly, it's the first time I ever fought someone who could just systematically change back and forth. And I was impressed, and I learned a lot from it. And I got to show some of that in my last fight, that the things I learned from him, and then just added it to my own game.
Awesome, absolutely. And for you, Myron?
The biggest takeaway from the fight was, just like the ability to put him away. It was in the last round, within the last few seconds of the last round. It was by head kick knockout. And so just knowing that I can get him out of there, he knows it, I know it. And like the takeaway is I don't have to wait till the last round. I can do it the first round this time.
All right. I'll take this one. We'll go with Myron first this time. In your opinion, and this is coming from, and funny, I watch 99% of Mr. Cook's cards out there. We're big fans of XFN over here at Husky Fat, and that just happened to be a card that I missed. But so I honestly have not rewatched. I've seen the highlights, obviously, but I have not watched you guys' first match entirely. Myron, in your opinion, if you hadn't have found that timely strike in the last round, how do you think the scorecards would have gone? Did you feel you had done enough to win?
Yeah, I think I did enough to win, but I still wasn't good enough. Even the knockout wasn't good enough. It took too long. I don't want to be in there playing around, making it too pretty. I want to make it ugly. I want to make it nasty and do or die from the get go. So I'm 36 years old now. I've been doing this for a while. I want the highlight knockouts, the highlight finishes, and yeah, I just want to get it done early this time.
Same question for you, Davis. Take out the last 10 seconds of that fight. If the fight would have gone to the scorecards, how did you see that fight panning out for you?
I felt like the fight was good, but we both hesitated a lot. I think he was ahead a little bit on the scorecards, and I felt like I waited too long to really get started, and he took over in the earlier rounds, and I was just really slow starting. But overall, I enjoyed the fight. I learned a lot from it, and I'm excited to get back in there. I'm with him. I don't want it to go 5 rounds. I'd rather one of us go out sleeping. So I'm there to do the same thing he is.
Like I tell everybody that I've ever trained in my entire, you're going to get paid the same no matter what. You might as well go home early and go to the bar, right? Just my thoughts. Dylan, go ahead.
The sound effects always jump the gun. You're both veterans of the fight game. At this point, do y'all still spar heavy, or is it something that, or do you like watch video still of your opponents, or is that something you just put in your coach's hands and allow them to do the work and you just put in the training? I'm going to start with you, Davis.
Um, I do heavy sparring probably once a week. And then other than that, it's just about technique and getting comfortable in uncomfortable positions and just trying new things and trying to be creative, but yet still fundamental and just keep learning. That's all.
Yeah, I like to. At this point, I still like to spar hard when I have a fight coming up, especially the 6 weeks out. I like to really push the pace, and so I'll spar about once or twice a week. Fridays, sometimes I'll go out there to the War Room with Stephen Wright out there in Fort Worth, and they got a lot of savages down there. Sometimes I'll turn around and come right back that same night and wake up and go sparring at Lovato's with David Wright and those guys down there. There's some savages, and then sometimes I'll even go on Sundays to Killer Bees out there in Edmond and get some heavy sparring out there with Montaigne and the fellas out there. But yeah, I like to get that heavy sparring because if you don't push the pace in fight camp, you can't expect to tap into that gear on fight night if you haven't put yourself in that position. And honestly, I'm feeling really good. I've been pushing it hard and sparring, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Honestly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, uh, the one difference between this match and the last match you had, the one glaring difference, obviously, is the type of gloves. Right? This is small gloves. This is the small glove division. So we're taking away that little bit of padding, which you don't have much in those 10-ounce gloves, but you got something. We're taking that away. Is this something that you guys have to prepare differently for, or it's? I mean, I know you both have had a lot of MMA fights. Doesn't really make a difference one way to you or another. What are your thoughts on it being in the 4-ounce gloves? Myron, you go first.
Well, just being like an American, and like I said, back in 2008 started, we never had like the big circuit here in America for kickboxing with the big gloves on. So we always had to take what we could. But there was always MMA fights. And being a kickboxer, I would always just have to turn my MMA fights into kickboxing matches. So like slugging it out with guys like Paul Buenatello with MMA gloves, heavy hitters like that. It's just kind of been my thing. So I I don't know. I feel comfortable with it. You don't have big cushions to hide behind, so the do sneak through a lot easier. And I got fast hands, but with those small gloves, they're even faster, so they'll be sneaking through. But yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. I'm even more so comfortable in the MMA gloves.
All right. And Davis, go right ahead. What's your response to that?
I agree. The smaller gloves is more comfortable due to the fact that we both have MMA background. Because, like him, I didn't find kickboxing early in my career to later on. So you really get more comfortable using the smaller gloves, the getting punches through the smaller pockets, the little bit of grabs here and there. The clinching's a little easier, easier to pummel out. The boxing gloves does hinder a lot of that. It makes it a little more difficult. So I think with the MMA gloves, though, it just makes it more creative. And yes, the knockouts are a lot higher rate.
Sir, sir. I do have now that we're going off script here a little bit, Dylan. But now that I have both of you here, I do want to talk to you on the smaller gloves. Everybody who watched the UFC last weekend saw the eye poke with Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gahn. Has that ever been an issue for you guys? I've seen a debate back and forth. I mean, I've seen what's his name, Miller, who has the most fights of anybody in the UFC history, has gone on and said, "I've never poked somebody in the eye once. It's bullshit. It's just they're training wrong or they're doing it on purpose." What do you guys takes as far as the eye pokes? Should they be taking a point? First eye poke, point one. What are you guys' take on that? And Davis, you go. You can go ahead and go first.
Uh, I feel like with MMA gloves, there's a small percentage chance. I've had tons of fights. I've never poked anyone in the eye. Fortunately, I've only been poked in the eye once ever, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. But I do believe it's a lot of times it's bad habits they learn, and then they just kind of get comfortable sticking their hands out there. But I'm not sure if it should be a point deducted. I think it should definitely be one time, then a point, then you lose the round. Don't keep letting it happen over and over. But I believe that should be like that for every foul. Like, make sure you say something that's on the ref, obviously, and then stick to what you say. Don't say, "Okay, you poked him. It was an accident." "Oh, you poked him again. It's an accident." Actually, step in and make it a firm. Keep your fingers down.
Myron, go ahead. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't know. I had to go back and rewatch what happened during that Aspinall fight. But typically, when I've seen it happen, is when the person doing the poking, they kind of freaked out and then try to get away from the person and then kind of get the eye poke in. But it just comes from motor control skill and just being comfortable with yourself and not acting scary, honestly, because it doesn't take a whole lot of motor control to point your fingers up if you're going to have your hands out. And if people do like to have their fingers pointing out towards me in their stance, I'll go ahead and from the feet, I'll hammer fist them in their fingers and I'll jam their fingers back into their hand, and then they won't want to eye poke anything ever again. But I don't know, man. It depends how serious the eye poke is. I say in any combat sport, you can do anything once and get away with it. So I don't know, fair game. Do it once and then get the warning, then go from there.
Go ahead, Dylan.
No, awesome. So I'm going to actually jump into some individual questions. Davis, I'm going to start with you. Without looking past Brian in your last fight, were you planning on immediately calling out Myron for this one? And then, yeah, or was it just one of those things that it was spontaneous in the event?
Last fight, the main goal was Brian. I didn't think anything past Brian. He's a really big, strong guy, so I didn't really look past it at all. First time fighting kickboxing with small gloves, new organization. I feel like I had my hands, I was very prepared. I knew I was going to have a nice competitive fight. I was impressed. He's a great fighter. And then I just took the opportunity. I felt like I won. I wouldn't say as good as I wanted, but I won the fight. I felt like I made improvements. And why not take the opportunity to ask for a rematch with the guy that beat you in kickboxing last and the best guy you've ever fought? Why not?
All right.
Absolutely. Myron, I got a question here. What motivates you for this rematch? Was it the call out? Was it him beating your teammate Brian, who you've been friends with for a long time? What's motivating you for this rematch? Because I'll be honest, you were. I mean, just to be clear about this, Davis called for the rematch on that fight night. Myron was in my inbox probably three or four in the morning the following morning, saying, hey, when are we going to run this thing back? So what's motivating you for this rematch, Myron?
Well, I'm glad you brought this up because honestly, I'm pissed because I was having a good day. I was sitting poolside. I was on my third espresso martini, and then all of a sudden I hear ding, bing, ding, ding, bing, bing. My inbox blowing me up. Everybody's like, "Hey, did you see that? You just got called out." I said, by who? They said Davis Horacio. I said, who? Davis Fellatio? I said, what the hell? I said, nobody even knew who he was until I signed the contract. Now he's famous. Now he's rich. Now that wasn't enough. Now he's getting greedy. He came to my town, started fights with my friends, and then called me out. So now that's where the motivation is. I usually don't like to fight the same person over and over again. I like to just beat it up and run. But for some reason, he's obsessed with it. I don't know. It's like Mariah Carey's song, "Why You So Obsessed with Me?" So I'm gonna give him that closure that he needs and that he wants, and I'm gonna keep it moving.
All right. And what do you got to say about that, Davis?
I love it. I keep it simple. I love it.
So for you, Davis, is there any bad blood between you, or you just want your redemption? You want your get back?
I feel like it's opportunity. Why not get paid for a rematch against the guy you learn so much from? You're gonna do it again. Hey, what's the worst thing that happen? It's already happened. This time's gonna be better. That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Myron, I've got a question for you here. You've been your last couple fights have been in MMA, been against two top guys. One of them's in the UFC right now. He ought to at least giving you a percentage of that check for helping get him there. Is your training any different, focusing on the kickboxing? And did you take any? And was the MMA fights, I guess, harder on you now that you are in the upper stages of your career? MMA fights harder for you than preparing for kickboxing fights.
No, it's just really finding opponents in the light heavyweight division, but then also finding good matchups. Because to be honest, when I fight MMA, most of the time the only people that are gonna accept the fight are people that are gonna just want to wrestle the whole time. And so my last three losses, were all due to the grappling. They spent zero time striking at all because they already knew what was gonna happen. But on the flip side, all the kickboxing fights that I have recently, where people were forced to stand up with me, they all got like seriously damaged and injured and even knocked out. So it's like a confidence booster to me, knowing that A, nobody wants to stand with me, and B, the ones that do stand with me leave pretty hurt.
Doesn't always end well.
Yes, sir. Davis, is it something to where from the last fight you feel like you have to change up, fighting styles or how you're doing things, or is just something one of those things? It was just a simple mistake. You got caught late. Just didn't have the hands up. Just like I said, simple mistake with the head kick, or is it making you switch everything up?
We're gonna leave that as a surprise. We're just gonna have fun. And
Yes, sir.
Can't,
I'm gonna
can't,
be
can't,
creative.
he can't give away that game plan now. Can't. But you can't hate on us for at least trying to get it out of you,
Right.
man.
We're trying to give the audience some spice coming for this one.
Myron, you've been very active since you last fought Davis. You've been quite a bit more active than Davis has since the first time you fought. Do you think that helps keep you in rhythm, keep you in fight mode? You're constantly in camp, or do you think it's being that active is kind of draining on you and takes its toll? What are the advantages and disadvantages you feel like being as active as you've been since you last fought him?
Well, it's just I'm 36 years old now. I've been doing this since I was 19. So every day, sometimes twice a day, definitely in the evening, I'm always working out. So I'm always I always feel like I have to prepare for a fight that's not there, and it's kind of my peace and my calming, and it brings me balance. And so I feel like no matter what, I have to stay in the mix. No, even if I don't have to fight, I want to go to the camps where the guys are fighting in the UFC. I want to spar with those guys. I want to spar with them hard. I want to get exposed. I want to see how I do against them. That keeps me sharp as well. But staying constantly prepared like that, once I do get that call, like you got this fight, you got 8 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever, then I love that feeling of just locking in and just turning up from there 100%. Because you can't do that year round. But when you do get that call, you get to turn up. I love that feeling. But I definitely feel like staying active as far as my sparring partners, high level sparring partners, cornering my students and teammates at fights and being on the fight scene myself. I definitely feel like an advantage for sure, and I definitely feel hot and ready to go, like a little pizza.
I'm going to kind of kick the same question a little bit different over to you, Davis. The opposite. You have not been as active as him since you last fought him. What have you had? What maybe two? Am I getting it right? Am I getting it two matches since you fought Myron or one? Do you feel like now? Obviously, you fought recently. You fought Brian, and you look good fighting Brian. By the way, you didn't really look like. I mean, your first round was kind of a feel-out round, but you guys are big guys with small gloves. But you look like you got a rhythm early, and you look good. Do you feel like? But do you feel like not being active kind of allowed your body to heal and process, or is it kind of made you a little bit more rusty and harder to get back in the swing of things?
I'm with Marlon on the part that it's a little hard to get matchups in general. Every time I go to MMA, I only get crotch sniffers as well. They just want to hold you down, not really fight. So I don't stay as active, unfortunately, but I do lots of sparring. I do lots of cross training with different gyms here. I go train with a lot of guys. So I get my hard rounds in. I get my real rounds in. I honestly I don't mind that I haven't had a lot of fights because luckily I don't have a lot of damage as well. I'm just excited and I'm ready to go.
Very nice. I want to kind of jump into this, get kind of input from both of y'all. I'm going to start with you, Davis. How do you see this fight panning out?
I think this fight's gonna be super exciting, very high pace, and I'd say 3 rounds or less, there will be a winner.
Okay. All right. What about you, Myron?
I think from the get go, I think he's gonna notice a difference in the speed from last time. And then also I've been doing strength and conditioning a lot since my last fight. You see my bicep popping right there. I've also been doing yoga, so I'm extra limber. I can get that head kick up there even faster now. So I think it's gonna feel a difference in my power level. You know, like on Dragon Ball Z, where they sense the level, he's gonna feel that. He's gonna feel that power and energy level super high. He's like, what the fuck? So I'm seeing early first round knockout. I called it here first.
He went.
That's a bold one.
He went Dragon Ball Z reference. That's a first for the Husky Fat podcast, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Davis, man, we appreciate you coming on. Give us any final word. Give us some final words here, not just for your opponent, but for your fans, for anybody coming out to watch, for anybody coming to support the Come Up Foundation. What are some final thoughts and final words before we let you go here?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys and the foundation for bringing me out, taking me up on the opportunity. I asked for the fight. Honestly, I wasn't sure because you have probably tons of fighters on your roster, so I just took the opportunity, presented myself, and I appreciate the fight. I'm excited. I promise you, it's going to be better than the last fight. I felt like last fight could have been better. This fight's going to be better, action packed, and there will be a finish.
Sir. Myron, same question for you. Final words for your opponent, and then any final things you want to say to the fans, to the people coming out to watch, people tuning in.
Just shout out to all my teammates at Lovato Southside, all my students at Level Up Kickboxing, my strength and conditioning coach at Green Strength, my yoga coach at Yoga Box OKC. And I appreciate everyone coming out to support a good cause. Scott and Husky Fat, I appreciate you guys being around here and being a solid promotion for us fighters to have a platform to develop our kickboxing on and take it to the next level. So appreciate you guys putting this on. As far as Davis, hey man, I know you want this rematch and I know you want this win, but there's just certain rematches that happen that I'm just gonna win every single time, and this is gonna be another one. But don't let that hold you back, because I'm not gonna hold back, and let's get after it for a good cause.
Hey, we appreciate you fellas. It's always great to have y'all on there, and trust me, I'm going to have the crowd hype, and I'm going to have both of y'all hype when I'm giving that intro for y'all. So I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this one.
You guys get some rest. We appreciate you, fellas. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. See ya.
Have a good night, fellas. Man, it's gonna be a banger.
Man, I'm telling you, if that doesn't get you hyped for a fight, I don't know what does.
No.
Both these guys are solid. Both these guys are veterans. They've been around a long time. Rossio has held belts in 3 different weight classes for different promotions. In his fight with Myron, his first fight out at XFN in Tulsa, I mean, you can ask the legend Mr. Cook himself out there. It was a banger fight, So there's a lot of anticipation for this. I've heard people who saw that fight in Tulsa is going to come down and wants to come down and watch the rematch for this. So it's something you're not going to want to miss. And to make it even better, it's for a great cause, man. I mean, like I said, the Come Up, they're not just teaching people how to punch and how to kick. They're teaching people life skills. They're giving kids a chance who wouldn't normally have a chance. They're taking teens who are homeless and finding them homes. They're and that's not me just saying that. That's an actual story that it's not my story to tell, but that is a story. So expect great things from this event. Expect even greater things from this foundation, and I'm excited for it, brother. Anything else you want to add before we call it a night?
No, I mean, again, just it's great having the main event on here. It's great doing this at 8 o'clock in the evening, just because I feel like more people are involved in it. More people are watching, kind of figuring out, hey, what's going on here? Let me click on this. Let me stay tuned. But again, it's for a great cause. So if you haven't got those tickets yet, there are gonna be some GA tickets available. Josh will pop up a barcode here in a second. Oh, it's already up. Click the barcode right there. 100% of the proceeds go to the Come Up Foundation.
100% go to the Come Up Foundation. They're not one of those foundations where 5% actually only goes to the work and the rest pads board members' pockets. They're a growing organization. It's ran by just a couple of people, and they're invested in this. There's a few different donation options on there, different levels of donation, which you guys can do. You can pull people together. There's different table levels there, or there is a limited general admission section there that they have put up. Originally, this was just going to be, for donors, table seats only, corporate sponsorship for donors, but they wanted to get the fans involved too. So there's a limited number of general admission tickets. I want to say there's just 200. And they will go fast. So click on that QR code, go on there, select your level of donation, and come see us on Saturday. It's Friday. Friday, November 21st. So that means the night before is what, Josh? The show before the show, right?
Absolutely. It's the weigh-ins.
It's the weigh-ins in the press conference. And if you thought Josh! And if you thought the podcast was entertaining, just wait till these guys are in person going back and forth. So
I kind of forgot about the press conference. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, dude.
It's going to be one. And we got, multiple other fights that are going to be on there, high-level striking. So it's not like we're just putting one banger fight in there. Every fight's going to be a banger. We're the highest level of kickboxing you're going to find in the United States. So definitely come out. Again, we keep mentioning it for the great cause. But this one's going to be nice. And towards the end of the year, so nothing better to do because you're not going to want to be outside because it's cold. So come stay inside.
Yeah, man.
Watch
Come enjoy it. And we'll get into the other fights later on here the next couple of weeks. We're going to have our man Emmanuel Rivera, the founder of the Come Up Foundation. He's going to come on and talk a little bit more in depth about the organization specifically. We've got a little inside peek to the organization video that's in production right now. A lot of good stuff, man. A lot of cool shit. You guys don't want to miss it. All that being said, I'm old, man. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yes, sir.
From us to you, be good to each other. We'll see you